Hey everybody, Brian Good here on this Thursday. I've been a little bit under the weather, so apologize for being out. Back in the saddle again today here, and we'll get you through this upcoming weekend with our next system that is approaching. 69 degrees as of midday, or actually as of 1 o'clock this afternoon, so we're already off to a nice warm start. Beautiful day outside. I hope you're enjoying that because it does not look as pretty for tomorrow. We are seeing some moisture being funneled in from the northeast, allowing for a flat cumulus field across Kentucky. These are fair weather cumulus, not rain-producing clouds, but makes for what could be a nice little sunset if they stick around long enough. A lot of this activity will fade away as it is feeding on the sunlight. So once the sun gets lower in the sky, they will begin to fade with it. But at least maybe some of us will get a nice sunset this evening. Our main issue, though, in the next 24 hours is this bad boy right here across Texas. It's going to roll on out into the Tennessee Valley and then the Mid-Atlantic and then cut off across the Mid-Atlantic. Now, last week, or earlier this week, I should say, I'm getting my days confused. Earlier this week, there were signs that may want to cut off over Kentucky or very close to the Smoky Mountains. And starting around Tuesday or Wednesday, we were seeing enough data to indicate that the cutoff point is going to be more to our east, which is good. It'll help salvage the weekend for us here locally. Now, the big question for tomorrow, when it initially arrives, is how much of a push on the northeast end is there going to be as it scoots across Tennessee. And the models are varying on how active the northern flank will be of the system. Some are aggressive with a period of heavy rain, some very light showers, and a quick little wave just passes on by midday tomorrow in the early afternoon, and that's it. It's over. So there's a lot of disagreement on how this is going to play out. I think the idea of a quick little wave of rain, I think, is likely to happen around midday into the afternoon, and then we may have to deal with the low cutting off in the Mid-Atlantic. We may have to deal with some backlash shower activity and cloud cover on Saturday afternoon. I'm not going to roll that out completely, but there is a chance of that. And I'll explain to you here on FutureCast. First off, here's our RPM model, in-house model. I'll show you what that looks like for tonight. One thing we'll notice is the increase in cloud cover becoming overcast by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Here comes the rain breaking out. Around lunchtime, it's going to be south to north will be the trend on the radar. So for those of you in Indiana, in Carrollton, Trimble County area, Kentucky, you guys will see the rain last. Everybody else will see it first. So to break out south to north, and then locally heavy rain, even some lightning and thunder potentially in our southern and southeast counties. Nothing severe being indicated, but some lightning and thunder possible in the afternoon hours. And then the low cuts off. Now once it cuts off, then we got to look to the north and northeast to see how these rain bands will filter in. You can see even by 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, we're in that backflash flow, mainly cloudy, with a few passing showers possible. Question is, how much of that clearing is going to work its way in from the west? I think if you're west of 65, your chances are you're going to break out in sunshine fairly rapidly on Saturday and get into the 70s, mid-70s, in fact. Here in Louisville, and I would say Louisville to Shelbyville, that little area, the little buffer zone along and just east of 65, probably will make it into the lower 70s, but it's going to be a late day kind of thing. And if you live east of Shelbyville, you likely will stay in the 60s. As the clouds will hold tough most of the day for you. Let me show you the NAM model. It is showing, again, overcast overnight tonight. It shows that wave of rain midday into the afternoon. Focus again still over Kentucky versus Indiana. And then it shows the backlash even on Saturday afternoon that moves in. You see the issue with temperatures. I mean, where the sun comes out quicker to the west, low to mid-70s. Where it's going to be a last-minute gasp, barely over 70, and then certainly barely into the 60s off to the east. So Saturday's forecast is tricky. It's not a washout by any stretch. And a lot of you have weddings planned or graduation festivities. It's not going to be a washout. But there will be a chance that some of you along East 65 may be stuck under the clouds a lot longer than the rest of us. And we can't run an isolated shower. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind for your plans. And hopefully we'll be able to fine-tune that as we get closer. Overall, here's the weather pattern as we have through the next couple of days, or actually next week. We've got that low pressure. You'll see it cut off the Mid-Atlantic, and then we got another wave that'll come in toward Memorial Day weekend. Anywhere we get, or anytime we get the blues and greens to show up over us, we've got to watch for the potential for stronger thunderstorms to develop, and that looks to happen as we head toward next weekend, Memorial Day weekend. In the short term, very little chance for anything strong because when you look at the shear values, again, 40 is my magic number I go by. Black line is the average of all the models here in the Schreff model, and all the way through the least the weekend. We're not even close to that, so not worried about severe weather. Now, as we next Wednesday night and Thursday, there is a pocket of decent winds in the mid-levels that do pass over us, but it's going to be nocturnal during the overnight period, and that means when you see a hashed area, that tells us that the atmosphere is capped during the overnight period, and there's some instability to work with. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is that it's so far out that if this were to be more in the afternoon, if this were to line out a little more in the afternoon hours on Wednesday, there could be some stronger thunderstorms potentially moving through. But it doesn't look to be off the charts. It looks to be a very borderline issue for next week. What I'm going to be watching is waiting to Memorial Day weekend, though. The best shot we have, it's nothing crazy, but it's the higher shot potential for stronger thunderstorms will be this wave ejecting out of the plains that it's going to track to the Great Lakes. That may very well send a wind belt over the Ohio Valley and the Ozarks that could provide some severe weather over the holiday weekend. Let's hope not. It's a busy weekend, but that's the farthest out I can see at this point, and that's at least a potential. So we try to give you the earliest alert that we possibly can, and that is something that's on the charts, and we'll just take it day by day from there. All right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you on TV.